Good evening. Welcome parents, family, friends, teachers, alumni, and graduates of the class of 2019. We would like to begin our program this evening by asking you please stand and join Class President Hunter Marilette in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Hunter. It is my great pleasure as the principal of Meridian Early College High School to be here this evening to honor the graduates of the class of 2019. On stage this evening, we're joined by the members of the Meridian Public Schools Board of Education. They include Board President Michael Bowen, Board Vice President Deborah Passmore, Board Secretary Dennis Cole, Board Treasurer Rebecca Hitzman, Board Trustee Janice Goodall, Board Trustee Stephen Grubaugh, and Board Trustee Christina Brott. Joining them on stage is also our Superintendent, Craig Carmody. Tonight, we celebrate our 56th commencement ceremony at Meridian Public Schools. While we cherish our tradition and honor our history, it's safe to say that the students who are walking across this stage this evening have had a much different high school experience than those who graduated in 1963. Tonight's graduates are only the fourth class who will all receive diplomas displaying our high school's new name, Meridian Early College High School. For those of you who are new to this change, 7 years ago, our board committed to providing every student 5 years of high school to earn up to an associate's degree before graduating high school. This year, in celebration of their individual accomplishments and in demonstration of the impact of the district's commitment to them, students are wearing colored tassels that correspond to the college credits or technical credentials that they have earned. Could all students wearing white tassels please stand to be recognized? These individuals standing before us have earned more than 35 college credits during their first 4 years of high school. Could all students wearing Navy tassels please join them by also standing to be recognized? These students have earned more than 24 credits before today. And now could all students wearing light blue tassels please stand to be recognized? This year, 95% of Meridian seniors spend at least part of their day off campus at Bay Arnett Career Center, Greater Michigan Construction Academy, Midland County CTE programs, or Delta College. These students have earned at least 15 college credits or a technical credential before coming here today. Could all students staying for the 5th year please remain standing? Over half of this year's seniors will participate in Meridian's 5th year option to earn up to an additional 30 college credits. The district will provide these students with tuition, books and supplies, transportation funding, and support for their first year at Delta College. When they're done, we project that nearly 80% of the class of 2019 will complete their first year of college or earn a technical credential. 10% of this class will earn 60 college credits or more before getting their diploma. At present, we are the only comprehensive high school in the state of Michigan where all graduates are early college students. The preparation efforts that have gotten our students to this point are substantial. From the Henrietta Lacks debate in Biolit, to the bridge competition in geodesign, to finally completing your senior projects, these students certainly deserve their seats here today. Good work, class of 2019. We will hear from two student speakers tonight. Our first student speaker is Alexia Hagel, who will be attending Central Michigan University.
Hi, everybody. There are a lot of people crammed into this gym right now. And that not only terrifies me, but also makes me very happy. And I want to thank all of you for being here and supporting my very good friends and I. However, I also know that you must be feeling a bit cramped and are probably about to get excessively sweaty. In fact, I think there's a guy who wore shorts to the 2017 commencement ceremony still stuck to one of those metal chairs back there. That being said, I'll try to make this brief, but there are a few things that I wish to touch on before I feel comfortable with you being released into the real world. That first thing being growth, something of which I obviously stopped doing vertically in the 4th grade. I know that today is very exciting and that most of us are very happy. However, I am also aware that some of you may feel deep down disappointed. You might feel as though you didn't do as well as you could have and that maybe you're not as good as the person next to you because your GPA was a little lower or you didn't have as many friends. I want to remind those of you that feel this way that everything on this earth grows at different speeds, especially high schoolers and especially when it comes to their social life and academics. There was, in fact, a time when I thought burning Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me onto a CD and giving it to my crush with absolutely no context would score me a date. It did not have a very good success rate, but it just goes to show that some of us develop a little slower in the social department. And in terms of academic development, it's also something to be very proud of, and that a lot of us worked very hard for. However, the quality of one's character and one's ability to do good in this world cannot and should not ever be determined by your class rank. The highest that we can attain to as human beings, I believe, is not just knowledge and popularity, but intelligence and integrity. Every one of you has been through a lot in your life. And maybe some of you feel discouraged as your hindrances make you feel behind. But I like to think of students as plants. Now bear with me for a moment. The ones who are planted from the get-go in rocks and sand are going to grow slower than those planted in healthy soil. It's just science. Some will grow sideways and in circles, but what you must always remember is that you're all growing towards one common goal, and that those of us that take longer to grow end up becoming the strongest and tallest of oak trees and most beautiful of rose bushes. So you must hold your roots firm in this world, be strong, and never lose faith in yourself. While you must always remember to be patient with yourself, it's also important to understand that there is absolutely no substitute for sheer hard work, dedication, and a healthy serving of stubbornness. If this world has taught me anything, it is that it will not, under any circumstances, give you what you want. If you want something, you're going to have to work excessively hard for it and never be afraid of failing. Don't take no for an answer or ever listen to what your mind is trying to tell you when it's tearing you down. I wasn't originally accepted to be a dual-enrolled student through Delta College. My statistics showed that God knew I'd be too powerful if I knew how to do math. I appealed the decision because I wanted a chance to prove that I was intelligent, and I was thankfully granted this appeal and have since been regularly on the deans, vice presidents, and presidents list, as well as recently inducted into the International Honor Society. Now fast forward to this year and just a few months ago. If any of you know me in the slightest bit, you'll know that I've devoted a very significant amount of my life to music. I was dedicated to becoming a member of the saxophone studio at CMU. I practiced for 6 years until my mouth would bleed and giving everything to be good enough, but ultimately I wasn't. I was not accepted into the saxophone studio. I was accepted into Central Michigan University, but just not into the music program. But at this point, in this kind of situation, if you ever have to go through it, you'll be faced with two options. Option A, wallow in a puddle of your own self-pity, never leave your parents' basement again and allow the sun to become a deadly laser. Or option B, suck it up, put your big girl pants on for just long enough to figure out a new plan and just do it. With a considerable amount of internal debate, I went with option B. I will now be pursuing a doctorate of school psychology at Central Michigan University with teaching certifications in elementary school and English. and I honestly couldn't see myself doing anything else. This world and my own mind have tried to convince me countless times that I am incapable and unworthy, and I have proven these things wrong each time. There are a lot of people in this world that are going to wish to see you fail, regardless of how well you did here. It's a very sad thing, but it's true. So you must always remember that you are what you think. You can either become dumb and powerless or world-changing and incredibly strong, all depending on your own internal dialogue. We're ultimately alone in the dark inner sanctum of our minds, our true freedom and contentment depending wholly upon our own mental fortitude. This meaning basically, in English, that you're in your brain for your entire life, so make it a nice place to be. And while you are a forever conscious resident of your mind, you will also be a resident of this world, unless, of course, we find a way to take up residence on Mars. Our duty, I have always believed, is not to make as much money as possible, but to leave this world better than we found it. Sure, money is nice. We all like money, but think about it. When you die, you're not going to be able to rent a U-Haul, pack it full of all of your things and all the money you made, and take it with you wherever you may end up going. All that you will have is the legacy and the lessons that you leave behind. I've always believed that you will die once physically, but you'll never truly be deceased until the lessons you taught stop being taught and your impact fades. Your purpose in this world is not to have more zeros on your paycheck than the next guy. That would be a very shallow existence, and I'm sure you can agree with me on that. Our purpose is to be undoubtedly kind with no concern for the reward for kindness, as there oftentimes is not one. It is to right the wrongs that we see and to believe in ourselves and those around us wholeheartedly. Go into this world eager to make change and to bring happiness, and also to gain 15 pounds and spend $300 on every textbook from now on. Pursue the career that you want regardless of how much it may terrify your parents. I'm talking to you, fellow future teachers, and live a wholesome life to be proud of. I have absolutely no doubt that you will be able to accomplish these things. I've been here growing by your side and watching all of you. And that sounded a little bit creepy, but you know what I mean. I know that you're all beautiful, kind, and smart individuals who are capable of making this world a much better place, and I can't wait to see the kind of world we can create. So as the evening pulls the sun down and each of us out into the real world with it, I hope that you all can remember what I spoke of today. Go out into that world, fail miserably, and then get back up again and fail again, but better. But keep doing that, because failure is not a negative thing. It is just painful growth. And pain is just weakness leaving the body. This world is yours, so go take it. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Alexia. Our second student speaker is Garrett Mogg, who will be attending Grand Valley State University in the fall. Garrett?
You know what they say, imagine the audience naked to help with stage fright and fear of talking in front of a crowd? Yeah, well, I'm just pretty weirded out right now. No, let's get this out of the way first. Throughout my 4 years here at Meridian, I have been shown love and compassion from the staff, along with care and respect from my classmates. And for this reason, I know we will be successful. I say this because no matter who you are, no matter what you have done, there are hardships that you have gone through to get you where you are today. The magnitude of the circumstances do not matter, they are hardships nonetheless. I know that many of you sitting in this room today wish you could have someone here partaking in this special event, whether it be because they have passed on, or because they are sick, or because they just couldn't make it. This is including myself. As many of you know, my dad and grandpa both passed away my junior year within the same month of one another. At this time, I should have been studying for the SAT, studying for my Delta classes, or enjoying the school vibe as the basketball team made it to the quarterfinals. But instead I shut down. Didn't know what I was going to do, or what I was even doing. This is when you guys, my classmates, reached out to me. I was getting emails from people who didn't have my phone number, texts from those who did. So many of you reached out to see if you could do anything, whether it be coming over to hang out, just letting me know you were thinking of me, or helping me stay caught up on my homework. This support you guys had shown for me, no matter if we talked recently or every day, or not really at all, was something I cannot even begin to describe. This kindness is something that if we continue to show, will take us just a little bit further than others may get. So keep that with you into your future, because you never know the difference a thought to someone's emotions can truly make. Now, memories. High school is a time where you will remember for the rest of your life. If I were to ask the parents, grandparents, or staff in this room today their favorite memory from high school, they would all have a story they immediately thought of. Some they might not want to share with us. And that's one thing that will never leave us, no matter where we end up. Memories, some good, some bad, they'll stay with us forever. The memories of going to sporting events, playing sports, playing in the band, going to bonfires, hanging out with your friends, squatting up on Fortnite. Oh, and I almost forgot. The memories of all those school dances that we say we sucked and that we hated, yeah, those will sadly stick with us too. Maybe we'll learn to appreciate them one day. It is these things that we've been through with one another that we will be reminiscing on with our friends, contemplating whether or not our kids are old enough to hear some of the stories, or whether or not it's been long enough for our parents to hear them. These memories are one that will create a stamp on our lives forever. The last thing I want to touch on today is a little message that I hope the staff members and parents pass along to the kids going into high school or that are in high school. High school can be a scary, intimidating place when you first walk in. I know it. My hands left my pockets maybe twice on the first day. But you come to realize it's not so bad. Just keep working through your classes, get good grades. When senior year rolls around, you might wish you had tried a little harder for a better GPA or that better SAT score. If you're going through a hard time, don't be afraid to reach out. Talk to someone in the school, whether it be a close friend or a staff member. Our staff here is phenomenal. They truly do care about each and every one of us on a personal level, and not whether or not we just do well in their classes. And I just want to say thank you to them for caring the way they do about us. And finally, make memories. Don't be scared to be who you are. Sure, a lot of the time it is good to be a little self-conscious of what others might think, but don't be too concerned with the little things, because in 10 years, they really won't matter. Participate in Spirit Days. Even though it might not be cool now, get your friends together, participate, and make it something everyone wants to do for fun. Don't be afraid to dance at school dances. Have some fun. Bust it down. Show up for sporting events and participate in the student section. A few guys wore cheer uniforms and painted their chests for the boys on the court this year, and I heard they had a great time. But in all seriousness, don't be too concerned with what others think. Don't compare yourself to what others do or what others wear. It won't matter who's popular or not. You're going to be here for at least 4 years. So have some fun and don't regret the things that you wish you had done. Now I won't keep you here because it's getting hotter than hell. But as we part ways with one another, I just wanted to congratulate you and wish you luck on whatever it is your future holds. Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett. Each year we give the graduating class the opportunity to select someone from our staff to deliver the commencement address. This is typically an adult that they've connected with over the years. This year's graduating class has selected Meridian Early College high school teacher Terry Cosgrove. Terry?
I'm old. Welcome, class of 2019. Thank you for the honor of addressing you one last time. I promise that it will be short and sweet, since I know those attributes well. Well, maybe the short part. I would also like to welcome the family, friends, and faculty to this momentous occasion in the class of 2019's life. Without you and your efforts, the class would not be sitting in front of us. You and I are ending our careers at Meridian Early College High School, and we have joked all year that we, our seniors, and I will be graduating with you. However, I think that you guys all must be smarter than I, because it took me 22 years and you only 4. You are a thoughtful and caring class. You were so supportive of me 2 years ago when most of you were in my American Studies class during the time when my husband passed away. Your patience with me, your hugs, your prayers will always be treasured and remembered, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Many of you have heard there are only 2 things in life that you can control: effort and attitude. I don't remember how many times I said it to you as you were preparing for presentations, taking Spanish oral exams, and just about life in general. As much as we think we have control over things, we don't have the control that we wish we had. Since you were young, you have also heard the phrase, get ready, get set, and go. You've run races, you've taken time tests, you were told to begin projects and tasks in the classroom. It always seemed like you were getting ready for something. Get ready was the 13 years you have spent until this moment. You took classes on campus, at Delta, at Bay Aranac, and at the various Midland County career and technical programs. You traveled with your class, you competed athletically, and your band performed all across the state. What was your effort and attitude in those 13 years? Did you try your best, or did you just do the minimum? Did you accept responsibility, or did you blame someone else for your failures or your behaviors? Were you humble in victory, or were you arrogant and smug? Did you anticipate problems and then try to find ways to solve them, or did you just give up? Did you try something new, or complain because things were always changing? Did you pass up an opportunity to do something different because it would have set you apart from your peers? These are all questions that you should continually ask yourself throughout your life. They will help guide you to the new get set and go phases of your life. Get set is where you are now. You have fulfilled the requirements of graduation, and you will now begin the next major chapter of your life. You will have more autonomy, and you will also have more responsibility. Will you take the easy route, or will you take a path that will challenge you? Will you participate in your civic duty and vote, or will you just complain about the government and that nothing ever changes? Are you wishing away the moments and want this ceremony to end instead of enjoying the achievement that you made and living in the moment? Make sure, wherever you are, that you take time to enjoy your accomplishments and show gratitude instead of always rushing to something new. Go is where you are heading after you leave here. Be willing to take chances. When you get to be my age, regrets are mostly the things you did not do. 22 years ago, I was hired in the district to teach foreign language. Before the school year started, I was looking around and went into the various buildings. In one of the buildings were two gentlemen, and they asked me what I was doing. I told them that I was one of the new foreign language instructors, and since the district had hired two, they asked me if I was the one that spoke a language. I replied, no, I only know three. Of course, they asked me which three they were, and I replied, English, Spanish, and football. Unbeknownst to me, one of the gentlemen was the head football coach, and within 2 weeks, I was coaching freshman football. It wasn't easy. I encountered resistance, but I chose to disregard those who believed I wasn't capable to do it. Those 11 years were some of the most rewarding years I have had, and I have lifelong friends because of it. I took a risk, and that's what I am asking you to do. Take a risk with something new. Career, hobbies, dating, sports, travel, whatever. It doesn't mean that you should be impulsive. It does mean, however, that you should take calculated risks. Gain as much knowledge as you can and then get yourself into the arena. Be a participant and not a spectator. Don't always wait for approval or that perfect knowledge because it may never happen. As Apple's CEO Tim Cook said, for the most important decisions in your life, trust your intuition and then work with everything you have to prove it right. Thank you for being an extraordinary class for me to end my career at Meridian Public Schools. I have enjoyed our many shared experiences, and I am taking away so many positive things because of you. Your class has accomplished so many things, yet there is so much more for you to do. Meet all the new experiences with a positive attitude and give it your best effort. Many of you are well on your way to college graduation. Many are on your way to certification in the trades, and others are on their way to serve our country in the military. Many of the decisions that you have made will change, so always be ready to take on new challenges. Do not get set in your ways, and go forth and be the best Meridian alum you can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cosgrove. Our final speaker this evening graduated from Meridian 50 years ago. He is one of only a few alumni who attended school at Riverside, which is now the museum, Averill Elementary, Perkins Elementary, Sanford Elementary, and the then new high school, which is now the junior high building. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Mathematics at CMU, before serving in the Army for 27 years. Since retiring, he has taught Army Junior ROTC for 20 years and spends considerable time and energy giving back to the communities that have given so much to him. It's with great pride and respect that I introduce to you Major Tom Jenks.
Thank you, thank you. Alexia and Garrett, Terry, you've set the bar pretty high, so I'm going to try not to stumble as I duck under it. Greetings, class of 2019, the 50th class to graduate from this school, from this building. And greetings to family, friends, faculty, and staff. And thank you, Principal Malley, for allowing me to speak this evening. And yes, I'm the guy who owns the lot across from the Railside Restaurant where our childhood home stood. My first order of business is to pay a tribute to our class of 1969 principal, Mr. Glenn Sanford, who orchestrated the move from the old high school to this building in December of 1968, and who stood by us over the years, always wishing his students the best. I recall at our 25th reunion that Principal Sanford came up to me and asked how I was doing, and he remembered me and many others by name after that amount of time. And yes, he was quite shocked to learn that I'd retired from the Army and was now teaching high school in Cleveland, Ohio. I know that Principal Sanford made a cameo appearance at the class of 1968's 50th reunion last fall. While he physically left Meridian quite some time ago, his heart remained with Meridian students, and I hope that you, the class of 2019, will invite your principal, Mr. Patrick Malley, to the 100th high school graduation class from this school in 2069. I want to give a shout out to my fellow classmates here tonight, most of whom I have not seen for a long time, with special recognition to Mr. Dennis Cole, one of the many students who went to Meridian with me, K through 12. Dennis, thank you, congratulations. I also want to give a quick shout out to my much younger sister, Janet, who married her Meridian High School sweetheart, retired Reverend Jeff Maxwell. Their oldest daughter just finished her freshman year at Alma College. I wish to recognize everyone, both here and not here tonight, who have contributed to the successes of the graduating class, from parents, families, school board, administrative staff, principal, his staff, teachers, coaches, the lunchroom personnel, the custodians. Students, you have a great debt of gratitude for these people. Congratulations to those of you who are going on to college or trade schools. Our society desperately needs skilled personnel in their trades. Your opportunities to earn college and trade credits is phenomenal. Your school administrators and teachers are far looking to assist you with your futures. I understand that many of you have earned many, many college credits, and collectively you have been awarded over $320,000 in scholarships. In addition, many of you probably have 529 plans, college money provided by your parents. If you are in that group, you owe your parents a great deal of gratitude. Some of you perhaps are on a different plan, the plan that I was on. Without knowing in advance, on my graduation night, my dad explained that I was on the 1830 plan. It's the one where you turn 18 and you got 30 days to get out of the house. Does that sound right to any of you? I will tell you, though, that the best career advice that I received was from my older brother, Dave. In my senior year, 1969, he came back from Marine Corps boot camp. When I asked him what I should do after high school, he said, go to college, take ROTC, come in as an officer. So that is what I did. I understand that 3 of you gentlemen are enlisted in the Marine Corps, Semper Fi. My older brother also said that enlisting in the Marine Corps was like a $3 million experience. He wouldn't do it again for $1 million, but he wouldn't have missed it for $2 million. And so my personal congratulations to you, all of you going into the service. Did you know that only 25% of 18-year-olds can even qualify for the military? It is easier to get into college than it is to get into the military. So what was it like here in the 1960s? We are the generation who gave the world Woodstock. We lived through the Vietnam War. Some of my fellow classmates were soldiers in the war, and fortunately, they all came back. I recall having to read the book 1984 by George Orwell in Mr. Ranishevsky's 11th grade English class in a portable building outside of what is now the middle school. I recall thinking, 1984 is never going to get here. Little did I know. Whenever you hear the term Big Brother as it relates to government, know that it came from the book 1984, which is still suggested reading. And teachers, watch what you do. I distinctly remember when Mr. Ranishevsky drove his brand new 1967 Mercury Cougar to school. How cool was that? I wonder if someone were to write the sequel, 2084, what it would look like. So what else is different? Many of you might think, well, cell phones. They hadn't been invented. No Facebook, no Snapchat, no Twitter. None of them been invented. I recall my first computer class of programming at CMU where we key punched IBM cards into Fortran language. That's totally obsolete today. One of the most significant things I believe is different is Title IX, which required that girls' activities would be comparable with boys' activities. While there are way too many things to list, I've heard that the girls' softball team has had a wonderful season. As a former high school softball coach, I can really appreciate your successes. As I started ROTC at CMU, it was male only. In the early 70s, it opened to females, as did West Point and the other service academies. Northwood Institute was not yet a university, which it is now. Delta College had opened as a two-year college, and Saginaw Valley as well had just opened, reaching university status in 1987. We too had several students go to Central Michigan University, as I did, and I believe at least 3 in this class, so fire up chips. And we had 1 selected to the Naval Academy. Decision-making will remain a challenge for all of you. Some of your biggest decisions will be made with little information, and some will be made for you by circumstances beyond your control. Your decision to choose a particular college, trade school, or the military will change your life forever, not only by the career that you choose, but by the people you will meet along the way. My advice on decision making is to make the best one you can with the information that you have, then make it become the right decision for you. It's kind of like marriage. How do you really know when you have found the right person? But if you work at it and make it become the right choice for you, it will be. Recently, I reviewed a list of recommended advice comments for graduating seniors. The one that struck me the most was treat the custodians with the same respect as the CEO. I want you to hold that thought for a minute. I want to say, as a sophomore, I was a gas station attendant at the Bay gas station at the corner of Saginaw Road and Meridian Road. It's no longer a gas station. But I got to know my customers quite well there, and Mr. Don Briggs, the manager of Northern, offered me a job when I turned 16 as the weekend janitor at Northern Lanes. I will tell you, that is quite a job. But I jumped at the opportunity because he offered $1.50 an hour, and I was only making $1 an hour pumping gas. When you're a custodian and you've cleaned public bathrooms on the weekends, you really do see a lot. Let me fast forward to 1985, when, as an Army major, I was the Contract Production Quality Assurance Representative for the United States Department of Defense at Allied Signal Aerospace in Torrance, California, a company doing $500,000 worth of business per day on military contracts. One day there was an issue on the assembly line on the Army's chemical and biological filtration system due for production of the upgraded main battle tank, the M1A1. As I was walking to the production line with the CEO, Mr. Tony Iswell, we passed the custodian, who looked up and said, "Hey, Major, who you got with you today?" You see, I'd often stop by to talk to the workers and utilizing my management by walking around techniques. I did notice that the CEO's face turned a little red as I introduced him to his employee. The next day, there were photos of the CEO plastered all around the facility. We were able to resolve the issue, and the unit was accepted and implemented into the 1996 and beyond tanks. Ironically, I ended up serving with the 3rd Armored Division during Desert Storm, the Gulf War in Iraq. In a potentially chemically contaminated battlefield, these units were there to save lives. Did I mention, too, that unit was also an air conditioning unit, and many of the tankers were grateful for that as well. Early in my days of teaching Army ROTC in Cleveland, where I taught for 20 years in my second career, I was nearing my initial assignment, walking to the classroom, and the custodian looked at me and just shook his head as if to say, "You don't know what you're getting yourself into," as that was a disadvantaged inner-city high school. Well, over the next few years, I got to know him well. We went out skeet shooting, and I learned that he was there working beyond his retirement date to put his son through college. So that one statement, "treat custodians with respect, the same as with CEO," really means a lot to me. Not too long ago, I was talking to a former student of mine who was at that time had turned 30 and dropped out of college. And she said it would take her 10 more years to complete college, and by that time she'd be 40, and perhaps that would be too late. So I asked her, "So how old will you be in 10 years if you don't go back to college?" That gave her something to think about. I want to take a quick moment to talk about courage, physical, mental, and moral. While in airborne school, also called jump school at Fort Benning, Georgia, after 2 weeks of adequate physical and mental training, it was jump week. Time to put into action the skills that we had learned. I had never been in an airplane before, so let me tell you, courage is not the absence of fear, it is conquering fear. When the pilot switches the jump light from red to green, you go. For a few short moments, I'm sure that each of us had second thoughts. When we conquered our fears and jumped out of the plane as we had been properly trained, it turned out to be fun, and we all went back to do it again. In closing, there are a few things I want you to remember. Show gratitude to others, respect all workers, including the custodians. No one got to the top of anything by him or herself. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in the fruit salad. Intelligence shifts the process from gathering information to creating insight. I want to say that one again. Intelligence shifts the process from gathering information to creating insight. It's the difference between shopping for food and preparing dinner. Be prepared for sacrifice, have patience, expect and learn from failures. Class of 2019, congratulations on achieving this day in your life where you have earned self-actualization. And I'm wishing you many more of those days as you commence on your adventure of lifelong learning. And in a few moments, as your principal, Mr. Malley, turns your exit light from red to green, exit with courage and confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Jenks. At this time, we would like to invite our seniors who are in the band to take their place for a final song. Each year, our music program, under the direction of Mr. Matthew Shepard and Ms. Katie DeRees, continues to impress. I know our community is aware of the quality music program that we are fortunate to have in the Meridian Public Schools. This year, both our concert and symphonic bands received straight 1 ratings at Festival. The symphonic band was named the top Class C band in the state of Michigan, and as a result has earned one of the top 3 slots to perform at the Michigan Music Conference next January. A special thank you to the seniors for their continued hard work to raise the bar for our music program. Obviously, our music program is a point of pride in which we all can appreciate. Without further ado, Ladies and gentlemen, the Meridian Early College Symphonic Band. Thank you, Mr. Shepard and band members. At this time, could our exchange students please come forward to be recognized? This year, we were fortunate to meet and work alongside 3 impressive young adults who chose to leave their home country to spend the school year at Meridian Early College High School. It's been a true joy watching these students grow and learn alongside our graduates. We appreciate them and everything they bring to our school. For Meridian students to have access to the connections with outside culture is very valuable to us. I now present you our exchange students for 2019. Angela Lega from Estonia. Xiao Litung from China. Izaro Hernandez from Spain. Thank you 3 for living and learning with us this past year. Students, it's that time. The time that your teachers, your parents, and you have all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. This is an appropriate time to remind you that so many people are extremely proud of you. Your hard work and dedication to your studies have gotten you here today. I feel personally blessed to have gotten to know you this year. Everyone in this room is looking forward to the bright future that you will create. Mrs. Boxey, will you please confirm that these students are indeed ready to continue?
Students, upon review of your transcripts, it is my pleasure to announce that you have met all of the academic requirements necessary to pursue your next step in life. Whether you have completed the Michigan Merit Curriculum, met all graduation requirements, and are receiving your diploma, are receiving an early college credential to participate in the 5th year, or are earning a certificate of completion for your work in our school, the Meridian Public Schools is happy to release you to the world.
At this time, I'll call each student to the stage to receive their documents presented by the members of the Board of Education. During tonight's presentation, you'll hear me call the name of one student who will not walk across the stage as he has already started basic training with the United States Marine Corps. We're proud of all students who make such a commitment and thank them for their service. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2019. Brendan Tyler Atkinson. Ashley Lynn Avery. Brett James Berriger. Catherine Jessica Blanchard. Michael Lynn Booth. Gabriel William Brady. Dylan Keith Bunn. McKenna Nicole Burns. Sydney Kristen Carmody. Alexis May Sabula. Serena Michelle Chase. Keaton Michael Clarity. Sydney Rose Clever. Bryce Robert Crowder. Cameron Cody Crowder. Kiernan May Dowd. Cameron Austin Duford. Bryce Andrew Dunn. Brian Michael Edwards. Aubrey Nicole Erskine. Gabrielle Marie Iyer. Timothy James Gary. Ryan Storm Gerardin. Vincent Michael Gose. Michael Scott Grice. Peyton Taylor Grice. Alexia Irene Hagel. Maya Elizabeth Hall. Chantel Leanne Holliday. Samantha Allie Hand. Louis Jordan Hartman. Gabrielle Marie Hayes. Elena Love Heinrich. Bailey Sue Hill. Kristen K. Holsworth. Eric Anthony Canyo. Brooklyn Deanne Kelly. Carly Ann Kent. Michaela Jo Kent. Adam Robert Kilpinski. Audrey Renee Kilpinski. Catherine Elizabeth Kittle. Tamara Lynn Knapp. Elias Samuel Corpel. Ariana Braley Perchie. Corey Jacob Lanfeard. Mackenzie Kathleen Leonard. Theodore Daniel Levere. Ashley Michelle Liscombe. Lucas John Leader. Wesley Preston Mabry. Destiny Ray Martin. Brandy K. Marks. Tyler James McDonald. Jacob Paul McLaughlin. Elizabeth Ann Malkai. Hunter Ray Marilette. Joy Elise Miller. Morgan Laureen Miller. Ashley Grace Moe. Garrett Jacob Keith Mogg. Sharon Lillian Moritz. Chase Adam Morley. Caitlin Sue Munger. Preston Lee Murphy. Alexander Brady Knoll. Elena K. O'Connell. Becky Ann Odell. Brandon Alexander Oliver. Hannah Lynn Ordaway. Jarrett Ellis Pierce. Jameson Lee Piper. Joshua Thomas Ruddy. Vanessa Nicole Schaub. Tana Renee Spangler. Cole Thomas Stanek. Kyle Robert Stockford. Sebastian James Upham. Colt Donald Van Warmer. Megan Hope Wall. Jonathan Thomas Dale Wallace. Aaron Michael Wozniak. Taryn Nicole Weisenberger. Samantha Lynn Wischowski. And Mitchell C. Schultz Zeman. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2019. Class of 2019, please move your tassels from the right to the left to signify that you are now alumni of Meridian Early College High School. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Audience, please remain seated until all graduates and staff have exited the gym.